Hello and welcome to today's YouTube video, which is going to be me going through my lip collection. This is something that I've been meaning to do for a long time. I tend to kind of clear things out as I go, but I know I need like an overall clear out and just kind of getting rid of things that I'm not getting use of, or things that are older in my collection and maybe shouldn't be applied to my lips anymore, or things that I'm not wearing, that I'm not using, that could be passed on to somebody else. For the most part, I tend to give things to my family or close friends because they may not mind as much. I'm not going to be giving away anything unless it was brand new, but I don't think anything in my collection is brand new. So I am basically just trying to narrow down the amount of lip products that I have, and I have a lot. My lip collection is the biggest part of my makeup collection. I know I don't have to do this, but I just wanted to give a quick disclaimer to say, obviously content creation is something that I do as kind of a job. I suppose it's not, I don't get paid for it, but it's a hobby slash job. Lip products are my biggest vice, I suppose, when it comes to makeup. I love lip products. I've bought a lot myself, and a lot of these were also press samples that I was given for review. So just keep that in mind when you see the amount that I have. I didn't buy it all myself. I also do give a lot away. If it's unopened and unused and something that I know I'm not going to use, or maybe a shade that I don't like or a formula that I know I'm not going to like, I will add it to like a giveaway or something like that. And that's what I've done in the past when I've gotten like loads of shades in a certain formula. I've just kind of done a giveaway and added them to that. And I've also given a lot away to family and friends because it's just, there's only so much that you can use. I do like to swatch things and test things out, but then if I know I have like say 10 shades of one formula, I know I'm not going to use them all, so I'll just pass them on to people who won't mind them being like lightly used. I know that if you're watching YouTube videos consistently that you know that that is the case, but I know that sometimes you can look at these videos and think, oh my god, that is so much makeup. And I know it is. I know that I only have one pair of lips, and there is no way that I could ever get through all of these lip products, and I want to just try and have less and use what I have. Just in case you missed the video that I did a few videos back about my no buy, I am doing a 6-month no buy, and after that I will probably be doing either more of a no buy or I will be doing a low buy. And I really want to condense my makeup collection and have just the things that bring me joy and make me excited to use them, because I feel like if I'm not excited to use them, then why are they in my collection, you know? Probably the biggest amount of lipsticks that I have from one brand is my Lisa Eldridge lip products. I have bought a lot of those myself, and I was also sent some. Just keep all of that in mind when you're watching this, because I know that people are going to be like, what? Like, why do you have so many lip products? That's why I'm doing this no buy, and I want to just change my shopping habits and change the way I have my collection. I don't want it to be something where I'm like overwhelmed with products and I kind of end up using the same thing because I kind of have too much choice. So that is my aim with this video. I also think it'll be interesting for anyone who wants to see all of the products that I have in my collection. If you see anything that you would like swatched or maybe compared to something else in my collection, do let me know, because obviously I can do that. I do also have a lot of swatches on my blog and on my Instagram. In my story highlights, I have a story highlight called swatches, and I've lots and lots of lip comparisons in there, and then also on my blog as well. So if you're looking for something, have a look in those two places, and if not, leave me a comment or send me a message and I can do those swatch comparisons as well, because I know that that's really helpful. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment if you have the time, and don't forget to subscribe also, because that really helps me out. So that's it. Let's just get straight into the video, because there's a lot to get through. Okay, so we're going to start with this little acrylic piece of storage that I have. I basically keep all of my lip products separate to the rest of my makeup, which is in one of the little IKEA kind of roller trolley things. So all of my makeup is in that trolley, And then because I have so many lip products, they don't fit in there. So I keep all of my lip products in like a shelving unit in my bedroom. So I have this one, which is kind of the only one that's like has everything on display. This side had all of my Lisa Eldridge True Velvet matte lipsticks. So I've just taken them off because basically, because I have so many Lisa Eldridge lipsticks and lip products, I'm not going to include them because I'm basically keeping everything, even the things that are discontinued or really old, purely for, I mean, I still use most of them, but for swatch purposes, I'm going to keep all of them so that I can do like a colour reference and that kind of thing, because that is one of my most asked questions. Anytime new lipsticks of hers come out, I'm always asked to do comparison swatches, so that is why I have all of those, and I'm just keeping all of them, and I kind of have them in their own little acrylic storage area apart from the velvets, which don't fit in that, so they are in here. So these are some lipsticks that I kind of I switch these up depending on the season, because these are obviously the most visible in my lipstick storage. Everything else is in boxes and it's harder for me to see. I would love to have everything like out on display, but I just don't have the space for it. So these tend to be seasonal lipsticks, so I will, in the summer I'll put like brighter colors here, and then in the winter I'll put some darker colors. At the moment it's kind of a mixture of some kind of newer lipsticks and then some darker ones, and then kind of some more neutral ones and ones that I'm trying to use. I think all of these I'm probably going to keep. I have these two YSL ones. These are pure, and this is the, everything is probably a bit dusty, so please ignore that. But this is the Rouge Pure Couture, the bold lipstick, and this is 19, I think it's 1968, and then this is the shade 10. And I'll just show these to you. So they are, it's quite a rosy shade, and this one then is a little bit warmer. Yeah, that one's a little bit warmer, and to be honest, I don't really see myself wearing this one, so I think I'm gonna give this one to my mom because she suits warmer colors compared to me. So I think I'm gonna give this one to her because I like this formula, but to be honest, I haven't worn them enough to kind of say whether I'm going to just keep the two of them, but I know at least I have one shade in this formula, so I'm actually going to give this one to my mom because I know that she will wear that more than me. I'm going to keep these. These are the two Hindash Manifesto lipsticks. This is Rest and Roses, and it's kind of like a sheer matte balm. It's I'll just do a quick swatch. That is it. I mean, it's such an easy lipstick to wear. It's a really comfortable matte. It's not drying at all, so I am going to keep that one. This one is one that I don't wear as much. This is the shade Call Me Peaches. I love the names, they're so cool. This is a lot warmer, really not my kind of shade. However, what I've been doing with these, and I don't think I've worn it on camera yet, but what I've been doing with these is actually mixing them, because this is a more opaque matte and this is a sheer matte. When you mix them, they make this kind of, I suppose, more neutral pale shade, and they're so creamy that they just work really well together. So that is what I've been doing with the two of these. So I'm actually going to keep them, even though I don't wear this one on its own, because it just is too peach for me. It's too, there's kind of too much yellow in it for it to work on my skin tone. It just kind of looks, it just doesn't look right on me. It's much nicer on medium and deeper skin tones. It's just not right for my skin tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm keeping those two because I love the formula and I love how they look together. So I am keeping both of those. The packaging is just so nice, and I really want him to make more shades. I'd love if he did like a pale neutral and then like maybe like some deeper reds and that kind of thing, because the formula is just one of the best matte formulas I've ever tried. So love those. In the same vein is the Prada lipstick. So I have 3 of them. 2 I was given in press samples, and then 1 I bought myself. So these are quite a similar idea to the Hindash ones, although the Hindash ones came along first. They have the soft matte and the hyper matte formula. This is like such a gorgeous bullet, and it's actually a similar formula to the Hindash one, although I think it's a little bit more pigmented. but it has that same idea where it's a matte, but it's not a dry matte. It has a bit more of a balm to it, so I really like that. And then I bought, which one did I buy? I bought this one, which is the shade Argile, and this is in the Hyper Matte formula. This is like a really unusual kind of a brownie nude shade. Like it's just such a really nice kind of a slightly grayish neutral. I love the formula of these lipsticks. It's just kind of so unusual. Then this is the shade Lava. I did a short form video on this lipstick. It's such a gorgeous bright kind of strawberry red. I would say probably similar enough to Lisa Eldridge Strawberry Shock. I actually must swatch them beside each other because I haven't done that, but it is such a gorgeous, like, look at how creamy that is. So I'm going to be keeping all of those because those are kind of relatively new. They've only been in my collection for maybe a year. The other one I'm going to keep is the Victoria Beckham. This is the Posh lipstick in the shade Girl, and this is a really nice kind of a really good neutral for fair skin tones. This is a present that I got Christmas 2 years ago from my fiance, and it's just a great kind of hydrating lipstick. I love the packaging. This has a 12-month shelf life and I've had it for 2 years, but it still smells fine and it performs fine, so I'm going to keep it. But I just love that shade. If you are similar skin tone to me and you struggle to find a pale neutral lipstick, that is a really good shade. It kind of has a bit of rosiness to it. I really love this formula. I think it's great. They're expensive, but I think because this was a gift, I kind of want to keep it for sentimental reasons as well, but I just love, I think this is such a lovely formula lipstick, so I'm keeping that. Another one I'm keeping, I'm not missing the third one. That's the third one. So I have these Clarins lipsticks. These came out last year, and these are the reformulated Joli Rouge lipsticks. So they basically come in these refillable packaging that you can kind of choose which one you want, and then you can get your refill. This is the shade Soft Berry, which is probably my favorite one I used the most in the previous Joli Rouge iterations. They had like a lacquer version, which was like one of my all-time favorite lipstick formulas, which is now discontinued. What can you do? So this is the shade Soft Berry, and it's such a nice, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know exactly what it says. It does have some like pinkiness to it, but also quite neutral. And it's just a really nice hydrating formula, and has a little bit of shimmer in it, like a gold shimmer, like a fleck going through it to make it kind of like really nice to wear. They also smell nice. I just love the packaging of those as well. I think this is a pink actually in here. Yeah, this is so that is their Shine formula. Then this is the matte formula. And then they have like the Joli Rouge, which is the kind of more satin formula. This is the shade Woodberry, and this is more of a pink rosy shade. Again, this one is quite a full coverage opaque matte, but it's a really nice kind of a dusty rose cooler shade. As you can see, it's probably the most cool out of all of those. And then there is this, which is the shade Joli Rouge, and it's their satin formula, and it's a really just classic red, which is so creamy and comfortable and hydrating. And yeah, I love the Clarins lipsticks. You know, if you're buying someone a lipstick, you're buying yourself a lipstick and you're not used to wearing lipsticks, the Clarins ones, it's hard to go wrong because they have a few different finishes and they have loads of different kind of really wearable colors. They're quite underrated, I think, but all three of those formulas are really comfortable, and I really love that. Again, these are quite new to my collection. I've only had these for like, I think maybe just over a year or less than a year, I'm not sure, but I am keeping these because they're just really gorgeous lipsticks. I did a reel on these quite recently, and these are the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. I have two shades, well, I have two shades here. I have more in with my other lipsticks, but this is the shade Whiskey Business and Rumberry, and I did a reel on these because these were new shades, and I haven't bought a Revlon lipstick in ages, but these are just such, like the Rumberry in particular is just such a gorgeous kind of a brown berry, like kind of nice. They're both quite 90s actually inspired, but like you can see how they are just such rich gorgeous colors, and I knew that I liked this formula I haven't bought one of these lipsticks in years, so I just wanted to try some new colours because I love the formula. Revlon lipsticks were kind of the brand that made me like fall in love with lipsticks. I know for a lot of people it's MAC, but for me it was Revlon, and I still actually have a lot of my old Revlon lipsticks, which I kind of keep for sentimental reasons again. But yeah, I loved Rumberry. It's like this kind of like a berry brown shade, like a deep chocolate brown, and then Whiskey Business, it's like kind of a bit more, probably a lighter version of that shade, but that they're just such lovely autumnal wintry shades, and I love those. And again, they're really new, so I'm going to be keeping both of those. Another one is, let's go for this one, which is kind of all on its own back there. This is the Nars Afterglow Balm in the shade Orgasm. I was sent this in Pure, and it looks like a bright coral, but it's actually such a sheer, let's do it here. It's such a sheer balm, but it has like a gold, again, a gold kind of fleck going through it. So this is kind of, I suppose it's more of a, it's not a lip balm because it does have colour to it, but it is like a tinted balm. So there is not a lot of colour to it, but it is really hydrating, and again, a good everyday shade if you want to put something on your lips and you want to have them kind of feel nourished, but you know, not a really strong colour. This is a kind of like a no makeup kind of lipstick, and it's really nice packaging. I haven't tried a Nars lip product in years, so when I was sent this I was really excited. I would love to try their new lipstick range, the one that's kind of a bit more matte. I think this is lovely if you're somebody who doesn't like wearing lipstick, if you're kind of more of a lip balm person, but you just want a little bit of a tint of something. That is such a nice shade. And yeah, I really like the formula of that as well. Again, this is really new to my collection. I've had it maybe about 6 months, so I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. And it is kind of a handy one for like day to day. Another relatively new one, I'm not getting rid of this because it's quite new. This is the Girl Cult lipstick in the shade L05. I think it's called Waterfall Cave, or there's a few different translations of the name because it's a Chinese beauty brand, but this is like such a gorgeous brown, and you can't really see, but it has like flecks of like blue, pink and purple glitter in it. Really fine glitter, but it's one of those kind of nearly like the YSL candy glaze or whatever it's called. It's like that. It's like the Romance Lasting Melting Balm. It's a really melty, balmy, kind of a thicker texture lipstick, and it is so nice. I really loved the products that I've tried from this brand so far. I bought this from YesStyle, and they have some really unique shades in their lip formulas. If you're looking for something really different and maybe something a bit more cool toned or kind of more fun, and like duochrome, they have like blue and green and like really unusual shifts in their lip colors. But I just absolutely love this formula, and again, very new to my collection, so I'm going to be keeping that one. And like I mentioned, the YSL, I initially had, I think, 2 of these and 3 of these, or the other way around, and I got these last year, maybe 6 or 7 months ago or so, maybe 8 months ago. And it's the Loveshine, which one is it? This is the this is the candy, I think it's called Candy Glaze, and this is the shade 05. I had 2 of these, and again, this is a really similar formula to the Girl Cult one. It's that thicker kind of balmy texture that looks really glossy on the lips, and that's kind of a really nice pink shade. Some of them you can click up but not down, but this one you could kind of click it up or down. And then this is the Loveshine, which is the reformulated version of their, I think it's their, I can't remember, it was in the gold packaging. It was basically like the gold version of this. And this is like a berry, like a deep kind of a berry wine shade. I'll have all the shades down in the description box and the names and everything, because I know it's kind of hard. But this is like a berry shade. It actually kind of looks more pigmented there than I thought it was, but it's a really nice like deep berry shade, but it's like kind of a medium, opacity finish. Again, this is really hydrating, it smells really nice, it's just like a lovely luxury lipstick. And I had 3 of these. I gave one to my mom and one to my sister, and then I had 2 of these and I gave one of these to my mom so she could, because she loves the YSL lipsticks. I've given her some of them before and she really loved, like, she used the whole thing up. So now I have one of each formula so I can kind of compare them, and they're both shades that I really love. They're both kind of a little bit pinky, berry kind of tones, but I really love both of those shades and formulas, so I'm keeping both of those. This is a sad one because this is the Oma Beauty, what is it called? It's like a bad, I can't remember what the name of these was. It was like Badass Matte or something. This is called Maya, which is my daughter's name, and I actually bought this when I was pregnant with her because I have 2 other shades in this formula, and it's a really gorgeous creamy formula. And then Oma Beauty kind of like disappeared, and there was like all of this controversy about the founder stepping down, and like loads of like weird stuff was happening, and people had ordered products and they weren't getting their orders, and their Instagram was like deactivated, all this kind of weird stuff. But I absolutely love this shade. So it's called Maya, and it's like a rosy brown, but it's just so nice on. It has just the right amount of like kind of rosiness in it to make it work on my skin tone, but it's just like such a lovely creamy matte formula, in the same vein as like the Hindash ones and the Prada ones and like the Lisa Eldridge ones. It's like just a really comfortable creamy matte. Obviously the name sold it to me, but I loved the shade, and to be honest, I've since kind of unfollowed Oma Beauty, and I don't think I'm going to be buying them from them again, because I just think how that whole situation was handled was just atrocious, and like people like taking money from people's you know, cards and not sending their orders, and not for 2 years, and they gave this really pitiful apology when they came back. So I just think that was ridiculous. So I will not be supporting them, which is sad because they were a really amazing black owned brand, and the founder did a lot of good for what was it called? She had this campaign in 2020 that was basically holding brands accountable for like their I suppose inclusivity and that kind of thing, like corporate kind of inclusivity rather than I suppose with the brands. But she did a lot of work for that, and you know, it was really amazing. So I'm really sad that the brand went that way, because they had some really incredible products. Their foundation, their concealer was one of the best concealers I've ever tried. Eyeshadow formula, they just had such amazing products. But I'm not going to get rid of this, because this is like a special lipstick to me, and it has like I suppose a meaning to me, so I'm going to keep this. And then lastly in this acrylic section is this Chanel lipstick. I think this is the only Chanel lipstick that I have a couple of Chanel lipsticks, but I don't wear them anymore. They're like more sentimental that I keep them. This is the Rouge Coco Shine in the shade 174 Destination, or sorry, the Rouge Coco Flash, and this is their kind of like sheer balmy formula, and this is a really gorgeous shade. Let me see if I can pop it here. This is like such a nice shade. It's quite similar to the Victoria Beckham one. It's maybe a little bit deeper and maybe more neutral, but it is such a nice formula and such a nice shade, and it was expensive, so I'm obviously going to keep it. I'm not like the biggest Chanel person, but I just loved how this looked, and I kind of like bought it as a treat for myself. Even though like I'm just not really, I'm not really a Chanel kind of a person. I don't really kind of keep up with what's going on with Chanel. I do think their makeup is so expensive, but I just absolutely loved that shade, and it's so gorgeous on as well. If you're, like I said, if you're pale like me, you find it hard to get a neutral lipstick, this is really nice. That is another one that I'm keeping. So I'm keeping everything in this acrylic container, and I'll put my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks back in, and these are the ones that I am going to definitely be keeping and trying to use up. Okay, next up is my bullet lipsticks, liquid lipsticks that are in this old glossy box that I have had for probably over 10 years, and I just keep them in here because I just don't have any storage at the moment. So this is, I mean, do you remember glossy box? It's so funny. This is all of my other lipsticks. Straight off the bat, I am keeping these Lancome lipsticks. These are the Drama Matte formula. I was just actually wearing this one the other day. No, which one? This one. This is such a nice, rich, creamy matte shade. It's so nice. I actually have a short form video on this, but it's like almost kind of like Lisa Eldridge Velvet Dragon. Kind of that like rusty, deep orangey red. But this is again a lovely formula. It's a little bit not as creamy as the other mattes that I mentioned, but it's really long lasting. And this is the shade, what's this? This is the shade Overdramatic, kind of a nudie one. And then this is the shade, what is this for? Oh, this is French Drama. And then I have another one. This is the shade Celestial Rose, which is in the Louvre packaging. So this is Celestial Rose. And they are just, actually, to be honest, like these two are quite similar. So I think what I'll do is I will take this one out. This is the shade Overdramatic, and because they are quite similar, this is maybe a little bit warmer and deeper. Because they're quite similar, I'm actually going to take this one out and I'm going to see, does my sister or my mom want this? Because I've used it a few times and I just don't think it would be, I wouldn't want to like give it to anyone else, but it has like this gorgeous detail on the bullet. And I'll link below the short form video I have of me trying on these lipsticks. But this was part of a limited edition collection that they did. They have these shades in their regular Drama Matte collection as far as I know. So I'm going to give this one to my mom or my sister because I think that, actually I think my sister would really like that one. So I'm going to see, does she want that one? So that one is going to go. I'm going to just straight away take all of my Romand lipsticks. I have the Lasting Melting Balm, the Blur Fudge Tint, Zero Velvet Tint. I have 2 shades of those. I have yet another Lasting Melting Balm, another Lasting Melting Balm, another, what is this? This is the Milk Tea Velvet Tint. I might have a problem with lip products, as you can see. Oh yeah, this one is the Zero Matte Tint. I think that's all of them. So these are all of my Romand products. I am not going to swatch these because I have recently done application videos of these. I also have swatches of these saved in my swatch highlight on Instagram, so you can see these all compared to each other. And I also have a blog post where I have done this one and a few of the Juicy Lasting tints, the first ones that I bought. But basically this is a matte blurring kind of a formula. It's a really gorgeous formula. It's that kind of, yeah, like blurring, really bright red. That is lovely for doing like a gradient lip or something like that, and I really love that shade. I love that blurring matte kind of silicone-y, really creamy formula. So I'm going to keep that. I'm keeping, oh, where's my, oh yeah, so this is my favorite shade in the Lasting Melting Balm. This is Buffy Coral number 11, and it's that kind of like grayish neutral shade, which is really nice. And then I have the shades Coco Nude and Nougat Sand. Again, I have videos swatching these, so I'm not going to swatch everything because I will be here all day. But these are just such lovely, it's such a lovely formula, very similar to that YSL candy, whatever it's called, candy glaze. Oh, I need to look up what that's called. And then this is like more of a kind of a deeper brown. They do get a little bit kind of messy if you don't like roll them back down, but they are really hydrating and really kind of a glossy formula. and I really love these, so I'm keeping the 3 of those. I have this lipstick, which is like again, it's that kind of a matte, they're all that kind of blurring formula. This one is kind of it's kind of similar actually. That is very similar to the Lancome one actually. So I actually don't mind now that I'm getting rid of the Lancome one, because this is very similar. I kind of need to try and wear these a little bit more. I've just been wearing glosses a lot more, but yeah, you can see that that's very similar to the Lancome one, which is funny. And then these ones are all liquid. So this is like a kind of this is called Vintage Taupe, and it's such a nice shade. But it is, again, I have like videos swatching all of these, but it's just such a nice, again, that like really blurring matte formula that's really easy to wear. You can kind of just rub it onto your lips. This is the deepest one I have, and then this is kind of a more neutral. This is called Burny Nude. I was actually given this by my friend. To be honest, because I have, this is the Zero Velvet tint, and then this is also a Zero Velvet tint, but I prefer this shade. So I'm going to see, does my sister or my mom want this, because that is quite similar to the other Romand lipstick and to some of those Lancome ones. So I think I'm going to see, does because I have like one of each of the formulas to compare them. And I've done a video, I did a K-Beauty lip video where I compared all of the K-Beauty lip products that I have. So this is another one that I'm going to see, does my mom or my sister want it, because it's a really nice formula and a really nice shade. But again, it's similar enough to some of the other ones I have. So I'm probably not going to reach for it too much. That's 2 that I'm getting rid of. Okay, let's see what else. These are the Queen Musia lipsticks. They are like, have the coolest packaging ever. I have the shade Becky Sharp, and then I have Madame Bovary. And I was sent these last year. I did a video applying these. It's a really nice creamy matte formula. They are such kind of easy shades to wear. That one is a Madame Bovary, which is a little bit more of a paler pink, and then this is Becky Sharp, which is kind of more of a deeper. They're quite similar, but I would say that one's probably a bit easier to wear, whereas that's kind of more of like a 60s pink. But again, I haven't had these too long, and I want to try and wear them a little bit more, and the packaging is so cool. They have recently brought out a newer I think it's like a balm formula in like a pink version of this packaging, and they look really cute. But I just love the packaging, it's so cool. So I'm going to keep these and keep trying them out, and I might do like a blog post on those or something. These are the Half Magic Mouth Clouds, and I have the shades Magic Brownie, Self-Help, and Mr. Cheeky Pants. And these are, again, I think I have a blog post. I have a blog post with this one, and then I think I have swatches of those, but it's basically like a kind of a mid brown, a classic red, and then a pale neutral shade. So these are something that I'm going to keep because I love the formula. They are a very similar formula to the Romand ones. They have that kind of like blurring kind of silicone, really easy to blend, and I love the formula, and I also love the shades. I'm just going to show you this. This is Mr. Cheeky Pants, so this is the paler of the two, and it's that like a really kind of a pale neutral. It looks a bit more orange here than it does in real life. It's a little bit rosier in real life, but they are both really nice shades, and you can kind of wear them more opaque, or you can like blend them into your lips and blur them out. And then this is Self-Help, which is a nice kind of a classic vibrant, like a pillar box red. Has a little bit of kind of warmth to it, but it is such a nice shade, and I love that formula as well. And I just love Half Magic as a brand, so I am going to be keeping those 3. Oh yeah, so I have this Swede. This is their lipstick, and this is the shade 90s Model. This is a really unusual like a crayon lipstick, and this is like a brown, but it's quite sheer, and it's really glossy. It's just such a great shade and a great formula, really underrated. And I am going to be keeping that because I don't have anything else in a crayon formula, and I really love that colour, particularly for like if I'm, you know, maybe wearing something that's a little bit more dramatic on my eyes, or maybe just some eyeliner or whatever. That's just such a nice shade. It's a really nice kind of a rosy mid brown, but because it's a little bit more sheer, it's not like a very intense brown. So I really love that. It's just like such an underrated formula. Love that. Again, I haven't had that for too long. I've had it for maybe a year. I have all of these Urban Decay lipsticks, and I've had some of them for maybe 3 years, so they probably do need to be gotten rid of, but I just kind of been finding it. Oh, that's not an Urban Decay, sorry. I have 4 Urban Decay ones. I think I'm going to keep this one because this is more recent. I got this maybe like a year and a half ago. This is the shade What's Your Sign, and it's a really nice neutral, rosy neutral. Again, if you're like fair like me, it's a really nice rosy neutral shade. Love that. So I'm going to keep that one. And then I have, oh, this is the one thing I really don't like about these lipsticks, is like it's such a pain to get the lid back on because it's like at an angle. And then I have the shade Oat Milk, which is like a really pale shade. I'll just do a small swatch of it here. It's almost like a paler version of that Hindash one. Like it's really like a creamy pale shade, and it's just not something that I wear because it's matte and it's so pale. It just doesn't look great on me. So I think I'm probably going to get rid of that one because I just don't think it works really well on my skin tone, and I just don't really know anyone else who would want this. It's like it's at least 3 years old. I think it's 3 years old, maybe 3.5 years old. Like it still works fine, but I just don't think I'm gonna get use out of it. And I just much prefer the other shade. It's much more flattering on my skin tone. So I'm gonna declutter that, as they say. Then this one is the Shine formula, and this is the shade Local. It's a kind of a pinky shade. Again, you can see it's kind of that like thicker, balmy, bit more of a sheer formula. It's quite a purpley pink. Again, it's just not one that I really wear. So I'm going to declutter this as well because there's just no point in keeping things. So yeah, it's just not one that I'm going to wear a lot. And then this last one is what is this? This is Hex. So this is like a deep shade, and I think I got this a little bit later as well. This is a gorgeous deep berry shade, and I'm going to keep this because I don't have a lot of shades that are this deep, but I really love this. It's the matte, yeah, it's the matte formula, and it's just such a lovely dark shade, and I really love a dark lipstick sometimes, so I'm going to keep this one. So I have another Revlon. This is I think this is the only other Revlon I have. This is Pink in the Afternoon. This is like a classic shade that has been around for years. I actually finished one of these, and this is the second one of these that I've owned. And it's just a really nice, like kind of a neutral-ish pink, kind of quite similar to that Queen Lucia one. But again, it's just such a nice shade, and I just wore that so much. It's not a shade that I wear as much anymore, but it's one that I like to have because it does go really well with certain looks, like certain 60s looks. It works really well. So I am going to keep that one because it's like, that's relatively new as well. I have more of these. I'm not really sure. I need to just check. I think I might have more of those in my gloss box. So I'm just going to take that out for now. Next up this is MAC Tropic Tonic, and this is a really vibrant, has lovely hair on it. Very nice. This is a really vibrant summery shade. It's like a coral, like a kind of a muted coral, I suppose, but that's such a gorgeous shade in the summer. Kind of similar enough to Vegas Vault, if you know that shade. I think it's discontinued now, but I had that shade and I loved it. But it's just such a nice vibrant summer shade, and I got that not too long ago in a mini version, so I am going to keep that one for that because that'll be lovely for the summer. So I have this Laura Mercier lipstick. This is their Rouge Essential formula, and this is the shade L'Orange, and it is a, as you can tell, it's like an orangey coral shade that is kind of a little bit more pink than some of the other shades, but it's a really nice bright shade, and I'm going to keep this for now even though I don't wear it a lot. It is a lovely bright summery shade, and I'm going to keep it, and then maybe if I don't wear it this summer I will get rid of it. But I love the formula, and I love that colour. It's such a face brightening shade, and like if you put some of that on your cheeks as well to match it, it would be such a nice easy summery look. So this is actually one I got free. This is again the Rouge Essential Laura Mercier, and this is the shade Nude Préféré. And this is like a little tiny nude lipstick that is actually, it's a really nice shade. I think I've only worn it once. Yeah, it was like a birthday gift from Space NK. And that is it there. But to be honest, I have so many other shades like this, and because I've only worn it once, I might see just my mom want this, because I think that would be a nice neutral shade on her. I think she might like that shade. Another mini, this is Lancome. This is Lancome Drama Matte. I think this is, I can't remember the name of this. It's like a kind of a deeper red, similar enough to like Velvet Jazz maybe by Lisa Eldridge. I'm going to keep this purely because it is kind of a mini, and I don't think I could really give that to anyone, so I'm going to keep it because it's nice to kind of have that kind of a red shade again in that matte formula. So I'm going to keep that one. This next one is this is the MAC Locked Kiss, I think it's called. Yeah, Locked Kiss, and this is the shade Rain, which was one that like this is, I mean, it's such a gorgeous unique shade. It's like a pinky purple, and it's matte, but it like really sets down and doesn't budge. It's one of those ones you have to, takes a little bit of getting used to. You have to kind of have nothing on your lips and put this on, and then it kind of like sets down. But again, it's such a gorgeous summer shade, so I am keeping this because it's such a unique shade. It's probably the most similar to New Wave by Lisa Eldridge, but it is just such a lovely shade, and it's a really long lasting shade. So it's the kind of lipstick that I would like wear to an event, because it's like really bright, but it lasts for ages and you don't have to kind of like keep touching it up. It just literally will just stay on your lips. Yeah, if you're looking for a super long wearing matte formula, that MAC Locked Kiss formula, I think they came out last year as well. Or maybe it was like the end of 2023, but that is a great formula and such a nice unique shade as well. Another MAC is Velvet Teddy. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of MAC lipsticks. I just have 3. But this is, yeah, this is Velvet Teddy, and this is such a lovely neutral shade. Again, it's like, you know, one of their most famous shades, and it's just like really lovely. Kind of, I suppose, a little bit warmer, but it does work really well on my skin tone, and it's a good one to swatch compare other like pale neutral shades. So I am going to keep that one because I actually do really like how it looks, and I don't think I've had it for, no, to be honest, I probably have had it for years, but I'm just a bit in denial about that, the passing of time and all that kind of stuff. This is Glossier Fête. Yeah, this is Fête in their Ultra Lip formula. This is their kind of like balmy formula. I actually really like this formula, and I really like this shade. It's just not one that I wear a lot because it's that kind of shiny formula, and I tend to prefer paler shades in that kind of formula. So I am gonna keep this purely because I do like it, but it's just not probably my favorite thing. It does give you like really nice juicy red lips, but yeah, I'd probably wear a paler shade more. If you like a really glossy kind of a balmy lipstick that still gives, you know, a bit of a colour payoff, that is quite a nice formula. This is About Face. This is their matte painted matte. Yeah, painted matte lip colour, and this is the shade Canyon on Fire, which is one of my favourite Wild Nothing songs. If you know that band, it's a great band. And this is like a super vibrant orange red in like the most matte formula. Like if you're thinking about a liquid lipstick, this is like the most matte liquid lipstick that I think I've ever tried. So it's not the most comfortable formula, like it is very, very, very matte. If you have dry lips, I would completely avoid this formula, but it is such a vibrant shade. It's such a summery shade. I'm going to keep this, even though I don't wear it a lot, I'm going to keep it purely because I know that this will be like such a gorgeous shade in the summer. But to be honest, I think like after this summer, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much more use out of it because it is like a liquid and I've had it for a few years now, so or maybe 2 years. Like you can see, it's such a gorgeous, vibrant orange red, but it just is very, very matte, and it's very long wearing as well, but it is very matte. So not one for a dry lipped person. If you are somebody who loves a long wearing matte formula, then you probably will like this, but it is very, very dry. I mean, it's stunning, like it's such a vibrant shade. Actually, I'm going to compare. This is the Patrick Ta, whatever his matte lipstick range is. It's called She's Not From Here, and it's a really vibrant orange red, and it's quite similar to Lisa Eldridge Velvet Morning. It's a bit more red than Canyon on Fire, but it is very similar to Velvet Morning, and that is why I am keeping this. It's actually a lovely creamy matte formula, and I love that the packaging. And it is, yeah, I mean, it is a gorgeous shade. So that's kind of my alternative to Velvet Morning. If you are somebody who misses that shade, this Patrick Ta She's Not From Here is a good, I suppose, color twin for that. So I am going to keep that because these are two really gorgeous shades for the summer, so I'm going to keep that for now. We have another Oma Beauty lipstick. This is the shade Whitney, very, very similar to, kind of like in between Lisa Eldridge Rainbow Spill and Skyscraper Rose. It's that like really lovely kind of a warm bright pink. You can see like how much warmer it is than the MAC one. I didn't open it for probably a year. This is kind of like an insight into my mind and why I am doing this no buy and why I just do not need any more lip products. But so when I did open it, I just like haven't really worn it because I think after I opened it, I had my daughter and I wasn't really wearing bright lipsticks as much. But it is such a gorgeous formula and I do want to try and wear it. So it's my goal for the summer to wear like this group of lipsticks here and this one. That is my goal, because I don't want to declutter something that I haven't really worn. I mean, I know I love this formula, but like I said, I'm not really going to be supporting Oma as a brand. I just think I need to use it a little bit because I haven't worn it nearly enough. Another orangey red. This is again another one that I think is discontinued. This is the brand Julie Hewitt, and she is a makeup artist and she has done the makeup for like lots of movies. She has her own brand and this is her orange red called Belle Noire. It's a stunning formula and shade, like kind of, it's very, yeah, quite similar actually to the Patrick Ta one. But like I said, this is discontinued, so I don't even really want to mention it. It's gorgeous packaging. I wanted one of her lipsticks for years because I love her work as a makeup artist and she has some really gorgeous shades. I'm keeping it obviously because it is discontinued and I don't want to get rid of it, and it's such a gorgeous shade, so I will wear this in probably more so in the summer. This is the Vive shade Brat, which I got in it was a set last Christmas and there was like a mini of the Brat lip liner and then this modern matte lipstick, which is it's a formula that I wanted to try for ages. This is the shade. As you can see, it's that kind of really like 90s-ish brown, really gorgeous creamy matte formula, lovely shade. I haven't worn it enough because as you can see, I have a lot of similar shades, so I definitely do not need any more mid-toned rosy brown shades, but it is a really gorgeous formula, really gorgeous shade, and I love the packaging as well. And their lip liners are so creamy and long wearing as well. So I haven't had this for long enough and I haven't worn it enough, so it is one that I'm going to keep. But yeah, definitely highly rate these lipsticks if you like a creamier matte formula. It's gorgeous. Next up is this is Citizen Cosmetics. So this is a brand that is, it was founded by three sisters, and they basically wanted to have a brand that would have neutral lipsticks for every skin tone, because they found it hard to get lipsticks that would work on their skin. And they have like a shade finder thing on their website where you can kind of like get matched depending on your skin tone to your perfect neutral and your perfect red. This is shade Dubrovnik, it's 08, and so it's actually quite unique because it comes with a lipstick, a kind of a creamy matte lipstick, and then a lip gloss on the other end, and they are both the exact same shade. I would say that this is a kind of a more opaque lip gloss. You can kind of see it's a little bit maybe more vibrant than the lipstick, but they're both gorgeous formulas, and it's such a nice shade. And if you're somebody who kind of maybe struggles to find your ideal neutral lipstick or red lipstick, definitely check this brand out, because they're really like kind of doing something a little bit different, and they really focus on catering to people of color and making sure that people have a shade that works for them. So I really think that this is such a really nice brand, and I really love that that's like such a gorgeous neutral shade, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this. Then next I have another YSL one. This is called the Slim Sheer Matte, and it's shade 108. It's a red matte. Like the same idea, I suppose, as like the Hindash matte, sheer matte Rest in Roses, that kind of like matte. But to be honest, I prefer the Hindash one, and I just haven't worn this. So like, even though it is a lovely red, I don't know, I just don't think I'm gonna get any use out of this. Yeah, it's just not my favorite. Like I said, I have other sheer matte formulas that I prefer, like the Hindash one and the Prada one, so I just don't think I'm going to get the use out of it. And then this is a limited edition YSL lipstick, and this is from years ago, and I never actually even opened this, I don't think. Oh no, I have, sorry, I think I have. This is the Rouge Pure Couture in shade 54. It has that limited edition packaging, and yeah, I have worn this, sorry, I tell a lie. But this is like a plummy kind of a shade. To be honest, I think the biggest issue here is that like all of my lipsticks are in boxes out of the way, and I don't see them every day, so I kind of just forget about certain things. It's like that like object permanence, you know, I just kind of forget about it. And it's a lovely formula, and it's such a lovely shade, but I just haven't worn it. And I think what I need to do is just give it another try, wear it like with this one, and if I just think, okay, I'm just not loving these, then I need to declutter them and just pass them on to somebody else. Although I don't really know, it's kind of a hard colour to wear, so I just don't really know, but I'll give it a try and I'll see. These two are kind of like in purgatory at the moment, so we'll see. So that is all of my lipsticks. Okay, so before I go into all my glosses, I do also have this Floris's Blooming Rouge Love Lock lipstick, and this is I'm kind of raging about this because it's literally the most like stunning packaging like of all time. Like, it's unbelievable, and it has this little lock thing that you press and like look at the embossing on it. It's unbelievable, but I just don't think that the color works on me. I was sent this last year, and to be honest, I've kept it in the box because I wanted to like film a try on with it and like, you know, show it on, but I just don't know if it works for me. So I think I need to use this one more time, see if I can get it to work, maybe with a lip liner, and then if it doesn't, I'm going to pass it on because it's too beautiful to keep in a box and not use it. It's like ridiculous. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I want to keep it purely for the packaging, but if it's not getting used, there's just no point, and it might work on somebody else. Sorry, excuse, I tried to like wash off all those swatches and my hand is in bits. Yeah, I am going to give this one more try, and if I can't make it work easily enough, I don't want to have to like force myself to make things work. But if it doesn't work, I'm going to just pass it on because it's just too nice. And then a couple of things that I'm going to just kind of say I'm straight off keeping off the bat are these are the Romand Light On Velvet tints, and I was sent the full, I think it's the full shade range of these. There's 10 of them. I actually just filmed a try on with these today, so I'm going to keep these for now. I am not going to keep all 10 of them because there is just too many and some of the shades don't really work on me. Keeping them for now because I want to just test them out, and then I'm going to pass some of them on because I just don't need 10 of the same formula. It's a very similar formula. It's a K-Beauty brand. This is the, yeah, I said that already. It's Nature Republic. But it's a Korean brand, and they have that very kind of similar blurring matte formula. So they're really, really easy to use and they look lovely on, but I don't need 10 of them. So I'm going to just keep testing these out and then pass on probably most of them to family and friends. There's a couple of glosses that I bought recently. This is the Noose Care Lip Jewel in the shade Haze Beige, and then this is the Lacquer Fruity Glam tint in the shade Ash Nut, and these are two that I haven't filmed a try on of and I'm still testing them out, but they are kind of that like glossy tint kind of a formula, so I'm not going to swatch them yet because I'm going to film with them, and then I'll kind of like add those links in. But yeah, they are two things that are going to be this is actually has like such nice packaging. Somebody on Instagram actually recommended this brand to me when I was like talking about getting into K-beauty. So this is like a really nice kind of a deep brown shade, like quite unusual. So I really loved that shade. It's really nice on. But again, I want to just like film with them before I say anything more about them because I haven't tried them properly yet. So just to get those bits out of the way first, this is chock full to the brim of glosses and kind of shiny lip products. So to be honest, a lot of these I have recently filmed try-ons of, like all of these Romand ones. I've done my K-beauty lip video. So straight off, I'm not even going to swatch any of these because I have like lipstick everywhere. I have swatches. This is the Fui, this is one of my favorite ones. This is the Fui 3D Volume Gloss, the Peri Para Ink Glassing Lip Gloss in the shade So What. This is the Romand Dewy Full Water Tint, the Romand Glassing Colour Gloss in the shade Nutty Vague. I have swatches of these all in short form content, and then I also included them in my K-Beauty roundup. So any of the K-Beauty lip products that I have, I'm just going to take those out and pop them in here because I know I'm not going to get rid of any of them, I don't think. So I'm just going to do that and then come back. Okay, so these are all of my K-Beauty lip products. I talked about all of these in the video, so I don't really want to go into it too much here because there are so many and I have all the swatches of them in that video. But like I have the Romand Juicy Lasting Tints, I have the Nature Republic Honey Melting Lip, I have another one of those somewhere. And then I have the Fui, the Peri Para Romand, and then these are my C-Beauty ones. So I have Florasis Matte lipstick. This was from their collection that they sent me last year, and this is such a lovely formula. It's that like blurry matte in this lovely like rosy neutral shade. It's like so nice. So I am keeping that one for now. And then I have my Girl Cult one, which I literally just did a try on of this in a short form video a couple of weeks ago. So that is one I'm definitely keeping as well. So all of these, you can see swatches of all of these in my K-Beauty lip video, and then there are more in my K-Beauty highlight on Instagram. So I'm just straight off gonna keep all of these because I love all of these. I love the formulas, I love the shades, and I'm gonna keep all of them for now. After finding one more Romand one, this is the Glassing Water Gloss, and this is like their clear one, which I love, so I'm keeping that as well. Some that I am also keeping are the Vive. I have another mini one of these in here. Oh yeah, here. So I have 3 of the Vive lip dews. This is the shade Rosa, Cherry, and then this is the original one, it's just like a glittery one. But Rosa is like a pink, and then Cherry is kind of like, they're really quite sheer, like they're not let's see, like that is like, they're really sheer. They are so glossy. It says it's a lip oil, but it's kind of more like a lip gloss, I suppose, like it's probably a nourishing lip gloss. And then the shade Cherry is a bit more, it's a bit deeper, a bit more kind of like visible. Like you can see Rosa is really pale, but they're like really nice lip oil glosses if you are into that kind of formula. And I really love this formula. I'm not going to swatch this one because it's like a translucent, but there's just kind of gold glitter in it. So they are ones that I'm going to keep as well. I have Clarins. I have two of the, there's another Clarins. I have two of the lip oils. So I have the shade Chocolate and the shade Fuchsia. I'm going to keep these. These are like my go-to, like if I left these to settle, you would see that there's a lot of these used up. But these are my go-to lip oils. These are just like, oh my god, the smell is so addictive. They are like, they're very sheer. I just love the formula. I love the shades. The clear one, Honey, is really good as well as like a lip treatment. And like I have been given some of these in press shops. I've also bought them myself when they first launched, whenever it was, like 10 years ago. And I bought them as presents for people because it's just one of those things. It's such a good gift because it's so easy. You don't have to really think about it because they're like so sheer. They're so nourishing. So they are like one of my favorite lip formulas. And then there's also the Clarins Lip Perfector. This is like a red shade. This is a product that I use so much and I never really talk about it, but it has that like little kind of a furry kind of tip on it, and as you can see it's well loved. I actually had two of these and I gave the other one to my mom because it was a shade that didn't really work on me as well. But this is such a lovely everyday, again, kind of an everyday red. Like you can just apply it sheer or build it up. If you know the Clarins Lip Perfector formula, it's just such a gorgeous formula. And this is just such a lovely red to wear if I want to brighten up my face and just throw on an easy to wear kind of hydrating lip product. This is so nice. I think this is the shade Pomegranate. I think it's Pomegranate Red, 23. I think it's Pomegranate Red, but it's just such a lovely formula and shade. It has a little bit of a tiny fleck of glitter in it as well. But if you like nourishing with a little tint of colour, these lip perfectors are so gorgeous and I've used these for years. We have the Maybelline Vinyl Superstay Vinyl Ink. This is the shade Red Hot, and it is such a great long wearing shiny red lip shade. It's that one where it doesn't transfer once it sets. It's a gorgeous kind of like a bright, like kind of slightly orangey red. I'm keeping that because I love the formula and I love this shade, and it's like if you want like glossy red lips, this is like the perfect formula for it because it doesn't budge. It literally just stays on your lips. Like I don't know how they do it. I know a few brands have that formula now, but I just loved that shade and it was, you know, obviously inexpensive. So these are the Armani Lip Maestro Satin. And I have a try on video of these, which I'll link below. I have 3 shades and they're all reds, kind of different shades of red. I'm going to just kind of try these on again, see which one I want to keep. And I'm going to just probably keep one of these, maybe 2. They are really kind of a glossy, almost like the K-Beauty kind of lip products, but it is like a kind of a stain. That's the kind of more of a like a brick red, and as you can see they're kind of like more of a sheer color payoff, but they're really nice formula. So I'm probably going to keep just one of these. I just want to wear them again and see which one I like the best. So they are kind of going to be in lip purgatory at the moment. They're not going into the collection just yet. Another one I absolutely love is the Half Magic Magic Drip gloss, and this is the shade Frosty Bitch, and it is the most sparkly lip gloss. The same packaging as the Mouth Cloud, but it's just like super glossy, super glittery, has kind of like multicolored glitter in it. It's just such a fun lip product to wear because it's so sparkly, but it doesn't look crazy on the lips. It just kind of looks really like multi-dimensional, and I love this formula, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping that one because I love it. The Isamaya lip lac in the shade Black Veil, the original. I've had this for 2.5 years, and like I've used a lot of it, but I'm actually not going to swatch this because it's a plumping one, but it is like one of my favorite lip shades because it's just so unusual. It's kind of like a purple black, kind of a sheer shimmery gloss, and I've used this in lots of different videos, so I will link some of those below. But it is just such a gorgeous shade, really unique. And she actually, I know she discontinued a lot of the industrial collection and all that kind of stuff, but she has kept this formula but put it in a different packaging, so you can still buy this. I mean, I love the like pierced products. I think it's like really unique. This is one I'm definitely going to keep. It's probably should be thrown out because it's like, you know, 2.5 years old, but I'm going to keep it for now because it smells fine and it still works fine, so I'm going to keep it for now. Okay, so these are the Robert Welsh and Blend Bunny collection lip glosses. This one is like a purple. If you want to kind of have the look of the Black Veil but you don't want to spend the money on it, this is a very similar finish. It's like that kind of a purpley black, and it's like a really nice nourishing gloss balm. And then this green one ends up kind of cancelling out your lip colour and looking quite neutral. It's a really like interesting product that I've never really seen before, and it has that kind of like silicone spatula on it. They're just so unique and just really cool products. These are ones that have kind of been in this box, and I need to get them out and kind of like use them more because they're just so nice. I have one Fenty gloss, and this is the shade Fussy in the original Gloss Balm. I have gone through one of these, and this is a new one because it is like still one of my favorite gloss formulas. It is just so nice. I love this shade. I love the scent. I love the finish of them. Like I said, I have this one. This is like the shade that I love. I did buy some of the mini Christmas sets years ago, but I never wore them because I just loved this one so much. I do love the shade Hot Chocolate as well, but this is just a lot more, works a lot better on my skin tone, so I love this kind of like a bit of a rosy shade to it. So this is definitely one that is staying because it's like my favorite. I have a Glossier clear lip gloss. Again, it's not something that I wear all the time, but it's the only clear, like fully clear lip gloss that I have, so I'm keeping it for that reason, because it's good for like adding on top of like a liner or a lipstick if I'm doing like a specific, maybe more editorial look. It's not my favorite formula of lip gloss. It is kind of a little bit more sticky, and I just feel like it's kind of like a really, I don't know. I mean, I still, there's something about me that I just still really love this, even though I don't use it that much. I don't know. It reminds me of when I first tried Glossier and that whole like bringing lip gloss back. They kind of were doing it before other brands started doing it, like in 2015 maybe, I think it was. I still really love this, even though I don't wear it a lot, but it's just really handy to have like just a plain clear gloss. So I am going to keep that. Another actual clear gloss I have, although it is a lip oil, is the Dior Lip Glow Oil it's like just the clear one. And this is just one I just don't really, yeah, it's not something that I would be buying again. It's kind of has a minty scent to it. It does feel nice, but it's just not my favorite. I think for the price, you know, I prefer some of the other ones I have. It's just not like my favorite. Maybe the colored ones are a bit nicer, but I just, yeah, it didn't wow me. It didn't live up to the hype, basically. But I do want to use it because it was so expensive. Another one that I shouldn't have bought. But anyway, this is relatively new. It's the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil Glimmer Finish, and this is the Opalology Tour. So it's like kind of like a blue tint. And the reason I got this is because I was ordering a couple of things from the e.l.f. website, and obviously they get you with the free shipping thing. But I thought it would be a good, it's kind of like a blue tint shimmery lip gloss that I thought would be nice to put over maybe lipsticks that were a bit too warm. I mean, I could just get rid of the lipsticks that are too warm, but look, I just wanted to try this formula because I heard it was nice. It has a kind of that kind of minty scent to it. I have yet to kind of test this out. I literally got this last month, so I need to test it out a bit more. But it is, if you're looking for like a sheer cool toned shimmery lip oil lip gloss, that is an option because it's like really inexpensive. I have two of the Lancome Juicy Tubes. This is the shade Miracle, and this is the shade Hallucination. So I am going to keep these. I haven't used them too much. I mean, I've used them a bit, but I haven't used them too much. But I just like, purely for like nostalgic reasons, I would be keeping these. Like, I love how these look on the lips. Again, I have a try on of these, so I will link that as well if you want to see what they look like on. Maybe I should give one of them to my mom. I do think that she would like it. So, because she used to buy the original Juicy Tubes and she hasn't had them in years, obviously. So I might see, does she want that one, and then just keep this one just to kind of have the formula. But yeah, I love these. They're not like the smoothest, I suppose. They're a little bit of a thicker gloss, but I just still love them, and they're so shiny. They're amazing. These are the Ellis Fass lip products. I bought a set that had 3 in it, and it is 3 reds in different kind of formulas, different opacities. So I have the creamy lips, the glazed lips, and the milky lips, and they kind of go from sheer up to kind of a more opaque finish. They are like the coolest packaging ever. They are, this one is a brush tip. I think this is the most opaque one. And then I think this one has a doe foot. Yeah, that one has a doe foot. That one has a doe foot as well. But yeah, Ellis Fass is just such a cool brand. She is like an amazing makeup artist. I first heard about these 15 years ago on Lisa Eldridge's makeup channel, where she showed these products, and they have like expanded their range. They have like foundations, they have eye products, they have powders and other things. But these are so beautiful. Like, the packaging alone is just so beautiful. It's like one of the most incredible packaging I've ever seen on a lipstick. And then the formulas are gorgeous as well. So these are products that I want to wear more, because I just think that they are so incredible. I actually want to do a blog post on these, because it's not like a trendy product, and I feel like it would be, I suppose, handy to have like a blog post showing off the different levels of opacity on these lip products. I know they have a 4th one that is like the most opaque, but I think I'm just going to do a review on these, and I just think they're amazing. And sadly, Ellis Fass actually passed away in, I think it was in 2020. It's just, yes, there's just, the packaging alone is incredible, and they are really beautiful reds, and all of the shades in the line are based around shades that are naturally found in the human, either on the human body or like in the anatomy. So like, this is like supposed to be blood red and in different opacities, and then she has like, you know, all these kind of really natural earthy shades, and they're like really unique. So I like highly rate these, and I definitely want to do a blog post. I have like photos taken, I just have to actually write the blog post and put it together. But this is like such a gorgeous brand. I'd love to try more, but I'm just really trying to not buy makeup at the moment. Really unusual. If you're looking for something unique, if you know somebody who likes red lipstick or like glossy red lips, or you know, something a bit different, this is like just so cool. Like, imagine just like whipping this out of your bag and like, you know, taking it off and putting it on. Like, it's just so cool. So I absolutely love those, and they are staying. So I have the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint in the shade Toast. This is one of the ones that is very grainy. You can actually see there the grain in that. It's like it's kind of got like sand in it, and it's just not comfortable. It is a lovely formula. I had another shade that I was able to make work when I warmed it up, but this one is just extra gritty. So to be honest, I think I'm just going to get rid of this, because I don't ever use it, because it's just so uncomfortable. It literally feels like you have worn a sticky lip gloss to the beach and there is loads of sand on your lips, and it's just uncomfortable. So as nice as it is, it just doesn't work for me, and I just need to let it go, because there's just no point. This is one of these, a mini size of the Clarins Lip Perfector. I actually only used this once, because it was like part of like a gift for purchase. And to be honest, I think because I have the red one and the lip oils, I'm going to give this to my mom, because I know that she likes this formula, and I've only used it once, and I literally only used it, I think, just before Christmas. So I am going to give this one to her. One of the Bare Minerals Gloss Bombs. I absolutely love this formula. This is the Mineralist range, and this is the lip gloss balm. And I know that they've more recently come out with like a stick formula gloss balm. This is the shade Sincerity. I have, again, a video on this because this was like one of my most used lip shades. As you can see, it's like such a lovely balmy glossy formula. It's a great shade and it has a little bit of a gold fleck in it, but it is such a great formula, great shade, so hydrating, and I just really love this formula. I have a blog post on this, so I'll leave that below as well. But it is, yeah, if you're looking for like a really hydrating, easy to wear, glossy, balmy formula, these are really like underrated. And I had like a whole bunch of shades, but they kind of all expired, and this one I kind of got a little bit later. I was sent it in PR, so I am keeping that one because I still love that. Like, it's just such a great shade. I have the Victoria Beckham Posh gloss. You may or may not have heard my saga about the Victoria Beckham gloss, where it had all separated and it just wasn't great, and it kept separating on my lips, but they eventually sent me a new one, and I now have the palest gloss that I own, which is great because sometimes you just need a really pale gloss, and I really like this formula, but to be honest, I just don't think it's worth the money. I have glosses that I think, you know, that I prefer. So while I do think this is a lovely kind of unique shade and the formula is lovely, I just wouldn't buy another shade of this because I like have all my K-beauty ones that I prefer, and I just don't think it's worth the money for me. I prefer the lipstick, that's just me. I have a Glossier holographic lip gloss. This probably needs to be gotten rid of, but I haven't worn it that much. So this is one that I kind of just want to maybe use a little bit more. And you know, it is really nice. Like, it's like that kind of iridescent kind of lip gloss. So I'm going to keep it for now, see what happens. I have the Clarins Water, what is this called? Water Lip Stain. I don't really use this that much. It's not my favorite formula. It's quite watery, as the name suggests. And it kind of comes in this like paintbrush applicator, which I just don't really like. So this is probably the only Clarins lip product that I haven't gotten on well with, but I just don't think it's for me. The applicator, the kind of watery texture, it's just a bit, I don't know, it's just a bit faffy for me. I just much prefer the lip oils and the lip perfectors. They're just much more my speed. This is like, if you like a lip stain, you will probably like this. I'm not a huge lip stain person, so I'm going to declutter that one. I have the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Praline, and this is like such a gorgeous, inexpensive brown gloss. Let's put it beside the Bare Minerals one. This is like they're very similar actually. That's a little bit more rosy, the Bare Minerals one, but it is such a nice gloss. I love this formula. I have used this formula for probably over 10 years. And if you're looking for a really nice gloss with a good shade range that's not expensive, these NYX Butter Glosses are just like still one of my favorites. This shouldn't really be in here. This should be in with my lipsticks because it's a liquid lipstick, but this is the Fenty Icon Velvet in the shade MVP. There you go. That's like that kind of like moussey, blurry formula that is like so like pigmented. It is absolutely beautiful on, like a stunning red, but it's just a bit messy. It doesn't set down like a normal liquid lipstick. It kind of has that Korean blurring effect where you can kind of like blur the edges. Is it made in Korea? Yes, it's actually made in Korea, so that does make sense. But it is that more silicone-y kind of dimethicone blurring texture that kind of like blurs your edges. But I think because this is such a dark shade, it can get a bit messy. I love it when it's on, and when I get like a crisp line, it's incredible. But it's just the formula is a little bit kind of awkward for me personally, for something that is so pigmented. Maybe the lighter shades would work better, but like I said, I have all my K-beauty ones that I really love, so this is not it to me. It's more, this is more about the shade than anything else, because I just absolutely love this shade. So I am keeping this because I love the shade, but I prefer other matte blurry liquid lipstick formulas. But it's just like such a gorgeous shade. That's, in case I didn't say it, it's called the MVP. Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Lip Oil. This is the shade Hope. Again, this is made in Korea. It's very similar to the Romance Juicy Lasting tints. Let's go here. It kind of goes on a bit paler, and then once you kind of leave it, it kind of like deepens slightly and then gets a little bit glossier. This is one that doesn't have a scent, so if you maybe don't like the scents of the K-beauty ones, you could. The Rare Beauty ones don't have a scent, so maybe that's better, but they do have that kind of cooling effect, which I'm just not a big fan of. So I think it's a nice formula. It's just that cooling kind of menthol feel that I don't like. I'm gonna keep it for now. It's just like I reach for the K-beauty ones that I have a lot more than I reach for this. I just don't think it's executed in a way that is going to make me want to use it over the K-beauty ones that I have. So while it's a nice shade and a nice formula, it's just not my favorite, but I'll keep it for now. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Acrylic Lip Paint, and this was like a gift with purchase, I think, with like, I think I got it from like Girl Makeup Emporium, and they had like a gifted purchase, and it was this. And it, to be honest, I think this is probably discontinued, but it's so deep and it's such a, I don't know, it's just not a, it's not a formula that I would go for in a shade like this. So I'm going to declutter this because I just don't think it is something that I'm going to use. I prefer a matte lipstick when it comes to like a really deep shade like that. It's just too messy for such a dark shade. The last one is this Finding Ferdinand lip gloss that is called Limoncello, and it is from a collection with a YouTuber who I no longer follow or support. I'm not going to get into it, but she had this collection with this brand, and I bought some of the blushes and I bought this lip gloss. To be honest, I thought the blushes were a lovely formula. I have since given them away to my sister because I just didn't want to be using them anymore. This is kind of like, it's a bit sticky. I feel like I have other sparkly glosses that I like more, like the Vive one, the Lancome Juicy Tubes, the Glossier one. It doesn't make me happy to have this. I'm not enticed to use this. It doesn't bring me joy to use it. I don't think I've used it like since I stopped following her, because I just didn't want to. It's nothing against Finding Ferdinand the brand. It's the person who they collaborated with is just, has some, how do I put this in a diplomatic way? She has some beliefs and opinions that I don't agree with in any way, shape or form. So I gave away the blushes, and to be honest, I'm going to declutter this because I'm not going to reach for this because it doesn't bring me joy, and it kind of just makes me sad. So I'm going to just get rid of it because there's just no point. I'm annoyed that I spent so much money supporting somebody who I thought was a more caring person than they turned out to be. So that is it. I'm going to declutter this as well. These are the ones that are going either to new homes or in the bin, probably like the Road one. I just don't think that that's usable. But most of these are just going to go to new homes, and then I am going to keep maybe one, possibly two of these, but not three. I'm going to like see, does anybody want one of these? Because I don't need three of them. I know the formula now, and I don't need three glossy lip products from the same formula. So I'm going to hopefully just keep one of these. So at the moment I have 12 things that I am getting out of my collection, and possibly another one or two. So it's going to be 13 and possibly 14. It should be more, but that is what I'm getting rid of for now. I would love better storage for my lip products, and I would love to have the willpower to get rid of more, but I do keep a lot of lip products for swatching purposes and for comparison purposes, because I do get asked about that more than anything else. I get asked for swatch photos. The amount of people who have sent me a DM asking for a swatch, and like I've sent it back to them, and I usually put it on my story as well. I like to have references on hand for that kind of purpose. It's a good start, and I feel a bit better, because I just think if it's sitting in my collection and I'm not using it and I don't have any desire to use it, then what's the point? So I want to try and use some of the products that I've shown today and then whittle it down even more, because like I said, some of them are kind of in purgatory that I'm gonna maybe try and use them, and if they don't work for me, I'm just gonna say goodbye. and just focus on what I have and using what I have. And this is another part of my no buy that I want to kind of just show, like, it's better to have less products that I use more than to have loads and like most of them don't get used, because like what's the point of that? It's just such a waste, and it might go to a better home, like somebody else might really love it. So that is it. That is my lipstick collection and declutter. I actually probably got rid of more than I thought I would. I know I've kind of been slowly giving away products, like I said, like with the YSL ones and some other ones. I've been kind of slowly giving away products because I didn't want it to get to a point where I just had like all of these products, and I just wanted people to get use out of them. I didn't want them to just be sitting in my collection just taking up space and not getting used. Yeah, I have given away other products. A lot of those products were PR samples. I mean, a lot of it I bought myself as well, but some of them were like PR samples and gifts. You know, it's not just like me buying, you know, hundreds of lip products. I haven't actually counted them because I kind of don't want to, because I'm a bit scared. But like that is all of my lip collection, not including Lisa Eldridge and not including lip liners. So if you would like to see all of my Lisa Eldridge products or all of my lip liners, do let me know, because I can do that. Yeah, I obviously, like, I have to give that disclaimer because it's like, I don't want people to watch this and think that this is normal. It is absolutely not normal, and I really want to change my spending habits and I want to get my collection down to a more usable amount of products, because it's really not at the moment. I mean, lip products are they're my biggest passion, my biggest love in makeup. Like, I just love lip products. That is my top. You know, for some people it's foundation, for some people it's eyeshadow. For me it is lip products. It just is. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it wasn't too boring. I always find these kind of videos interesting, and I definitely want to go through other parts of my collection and kind of do, like, I suppose, a collection tour / declutter, because inevitably I will be getting rid of things when I go through it. And I know like there are products that I have in my head that I know I want to kind of pass along. I'll do the other areas of my makeup collection if that is something that people want to see. I can do that, and I can also go through the storage if that's another thing, because I have got like everything in its place in that little kind of like 3-tier trolley, and it's like worked really well for me for the past few years. So it might be something that you might want to see, so I can do that also. But anyway, thank you for watching or listening, and I really appreciate it, because I know this is probably another long one. Did you see any of your favorite products there? Is there anything that you would like to see me do swatch comparisons of? Because I can obviously do that, and I would love to be able to do that and help you make a more informed decision about your purchases. So do let me know if you would like to see any swatch comparisons. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, leave me a little comment, and I will see you very soon with another video. Goodbye.